A very good evening to you and welcome to, I think, the third episode of Offside Maidens, where the comments are offside and the women are real and, of course, incredible. It is an all-women's panel and is brought to you by Cricket Fanatics. Please like, share, follow, subscribe, do all of the things. All of those buttons are somewhere around there. There you have it. Like, comment, share, do the things. And welcome. Also, compliments of the season. Thank you for joining us. And welcome, ladies. How is everyone? Have you been having a great festive season, first and foremostly? Leisha, you're looking very festive over there with that hat and that smile. And apparently you have a glass with some suspicious liquid in on the side. But we won't mention what the liquid is because I don't think that's allowed on the show.
It's literally cranberry juice.
Oh, okay. Okay. At least the cranberry juice is one component of the drink.
No comment. I've been good. I've been good, guys. How have you guys been? I've been nervous for y'all. I feel like a lamb being led to the slaughterhouse.
Oh, wow. Why? Oh, of course, because of the test that's been happening, Sri Lanka versus the Proteas. Leisha is actually a Sri Lankan fan. So, of course, we are going to give it to her in a little bit. Emily, how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. I'm glad Proteas won. I see Leisha has to cheer us up there somehow by wearing that Christmas hat because there's no other way to cheer us up after that loss, that tragic loss that you guys had. But yeah, I'm good. How are the twins? How are you guys doing?
Yeah, twins.
We're good.
We're good. Festivals was good with family, as small as possible, so we stayed away from big crowds and things like that. So yeah, I think it's becoming more real, this whole COVID thing. So
yes, I mean this is a very
it's been great so
strange
far.
New Year's Eve.
Yeah, indeed.
Definitely. So
yes, and also very happy for the win.
Very happy for the win.
Yes.
Sorry, Leisha, I can almost feel your pain, but not really. But
I don't really feel Alicia's pain. But let's first kick it off and talk about how Liverpool is at the top of the table.
Yep.
No, I'm joking. That's the wrong show.
I'm waiting.
But guys, you beat a team that's sitting like number 15 on the table. Wow. So there's a problem there. Like, oh yeah, there's a problem. There's a problem.
We've been enjoying some lovely test cricket. It's actually been very exciting. I mean, what we saw on day one versus how it ended, completely different. I mean, on day one, we were thinking, what's going on here? Will we even reach that total? And then amazing things happened, much to Leisha's despair. Leisha, what would you say was your downfall after that day one? You looked pretty good there. Do you think it's purely the loss of Dhananjaya de Silva?
I definitely feel it was after we lost Dhananjaya that everything just, I won't say everything just went downhill, because every other batsman came and contributed, and they did their job.
Did they?
I feel actually they did. The batting on day one was fine. It was good. It was very positive. There was intent. It was a bit on the T20 side. I had my nerves, up in a bunch. But there was good intent. It was positive cricket, and then unfortunately Dhananjaya just injured himself and stuff. After that, it was just sheer out to us.
But we can't really blame injuries and fatigue, because I mean, look at the Proteas squad around the World Cup time. There was a time when we had so many injuries and we were still expected to perform. We didn't, but it's still expected of us because these things happen when it comes to sport in general. Any sport.
I think that's true. But I think it's also to do with how underprepared they were coming into the test. As much as there was no cricket for a span of like nine months, there's still little things that you can do at home to keep fit, to prevent.
So you don't think the Lankans were keeping fit? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I feel like they could have done a bit more. but I also
this
feel
is
like
also our first test coming
No, but
back.
I think
the Lanka Premier League also had a lot to do with it because of the high intensity of the T20 league. So they didn't have enough time to rest either before coming into it. Listen, I'm not trying to make excuses for the team. I just want to put that out there. I'm not trying to make excuses. It was bad. Like it was bad.
But I think, yeah, I mean, I agree. You obviously can't make excuses for those types of things. But I do think that a lot of the Proteas have played more cricket than the Sri Lankans. They played in the IPL, a lot of them. They played, a few of them played in 4-day games. So I just think in general, they have had more time to prepare and maybe more opportunities to play cricket than the Sri Lankans had. So it is something that you do need to consider. But yeah, having said that, they obviously didn't prepare enough. But I do think having lost Dylan Jai Silva is a massive blow, not just for that first game, but for the series. Because in my opinion, he looked like he was going to go on to score 100, if not more, the way he was batting. He was batting really well at the crease. So yeah, it's a massive blow for them. And then, as Lisha said, the injuries then just started coming after that, which is unlucky. But I was just thinking again about that score that we got. It's unfortunate that they lost injuries in batting and bowling, because then they had batsmen bowling, and that's when the Proteas just took advantage of that. You saw someone like Karunaratne bowling and Kusal Mendes bowling, who are like opening batsmen or 1 and 3 or something like that, and to have them coming in trying to save the bowling was not helping at all. Also because Hasaranga on his debut, in my opinion, didn't bowl as well as he should have. He bowled a lot of long hops, a lot of short balls, and the Proteas just pounced on that. Keshav as well, brilliant innings by him. He just took advantage of the bowling. So yeah, it was unfortunate for Sri Lanka. And being a Proteas fan, I actually hope they can bounce back, because I want like a really competitive test in the second game. So yeah.
Yeah, and you mentioned Keshav, and he didn't take any wickets, but he certainly did contribute to the bat. I know that many of you believe that he should be Test captain. Isn't that right, twins?
When she says many of us, she means the twins.
Twins, this is your turn to come in and say yes. You want to see Keshav there because you think that he has the right temperament. I believe that this is what you were telling me earlier. You can unmute yourself and I feel like the twins
don't want to speak.
So I don't know what's happening there with the twins. I don't know if I need to call a friend. I don't know if I have to call them. I don't know if they're still a part of this conversation right now. Twins, can you indicate if you can actually hear us? Okay, it appears that we have technical difficulties, but that's what happens during the festive season. Things are different. We're all in different places. I'm not in a studio. There's background sounds and noises and there's crazy things. Are you eventually hearing us? No, they're just smiling and looking good there. Okay, maybe they'll come back stronger in a little while. So before the test, actually, I just want to get into this. I don't really want to discuss too much politics and administrative stuff. But so they decided not to obviously take the knee, but decided to do something purely South African. And they said, I think I have a quote here somewhere. They said that they came to the decision through a process of deep democracy to lift that fist, to raise a fist. And I thought that was quite interesting. What did you think? That is a purely South African thing, something that we've seen many struggle icons do. So it was quite a picture to see that. And I'm glad that something purely South African was chosen, and not just taking the knee. And it was a little better than that black masking tape they were putting around their arm earlier. Lisha or Emily, do you have any opinion on this?
Yeah. Look, there was sort of rumors around, like, I don't know whether this is true or not, but them being forced to do it, or them, like, the decision being taken for them. Look, whatever it is, as long as what they're doing off screen is like to improve themselves and to better themselves in terms of racism, that's what's important. So, I mean, I'm all for like taking the knee. I mean, if you choose to take the knee or if you choose not to take the knee, what really is important is, like I said, what you're doing inside and off screen, because that's really what matters in terms of racism and changing how you think about things and things like that. So, yeah, that's basically my comment on it.
Yeah, the statements that they released said that this was a joint decision that they came to together. Deep democracy is what they said they used in order to come to this decision. So I hope that people aren't being forced. We are cool as viewers. They said that they were coming under fire for not taking the knee. I'm not sure exactly how true that is, but I suppose the media, we are who controls that narrative and that conversation. Leisha, you're very quiet there. Do you have something to say about it, or do you want to jump into our young bowlers?
Well, no, I don't have anything to say about it because if I'm really honest, on Saturday morning, I woke up at 6:30 and I told myself I'm just gonna sleep another half an hour, and I woke up 10:05, so I missed that whole.
I said you missed that.
I missed the toss. I missed everything. I had to like go check who's in the squad, who's playing. So yeah, excuse me from this topic.
Okay. So you missed the start of that. Hi, twins. Are you back? Can you hear us? Are you doing good there in the corner?
We can hear you guys. Can you hear us?
Oh yes, I can hear you now. Now that you
Can you hear us?
talking. Yes, yes, we can
Can you all
hear you.
hear? We can hear you.
And we can hear you. This is very funny. This is some
Is it fine?
entertaining technical glitches.
Great. Okay. Can you catch us up? Okay, what just happened? What did we miss? Did we miss a wicket? Why is Leisha not crying yet?
We were waiting for you to do the roasting. The roasting of Leisha.
Oh, okay. The roasting of Leisha. What are we gonna say? We're not ready. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, I'll open the floor to you to start with the roasting of Leisha.
Wow. Okay, I think Leisha should first tell everybody why she supports Sri Lanka, and then just to give her a fair, side of the story.
Good idea.
Yeah. And then
good idea, Leisha. Tell
we are
us.
fair people. Yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna sip my tea while Leisha does this.
Yeah, we've got our tea.
I support Sri Lanka because because I've got a friend who plays for Sri Lanka, and I'm very loyal to my friends. I support the Proteas when they're not playing Sri Lanka.
A friend. You have a friend. Is this a real friend, or is this like a fake friend?
Imaginary friend.
Like you watched this friend play and you were like, oh, he plays really good. I think we can be friends. And then maybe you started following a friend on Instagram and now it's a solid friendship.
The first time I saw him, he wasn't even playing, he was a sub. So I didn't see him play and just stalk him. Actually, he was stalking me because it was my home ground. He was busy giving me a stay down for a whole 2 days before actually waving at me.
Okay.
Wow, okay. And so because of this stare down was so good that you support Sri Lanka now. Okay.
It wasn't the other way around. Leisha.
I didn't even know him, guys. Come on.
Okay. Well, all right. Okay. Subs tea. But that's
Yes,
none of my business.
so that is where it started, Lisha. Okay, so but what
Yeah,
year was this so how many years has it been since
it was
the support of Sri
2016.
Lanka began?
4 years. 4 years.
4 years, okay. Substantial amount of time that you've been supporting the Lankans. Did you watch the Lankan Premier League?
Not all of the games, but I tried to follow most. Well, when he was playing, but he
Okay,
only
okay. So
played
you
two.
did actually
He only
watch.
played 2 games.
I must admit that I didn't actually watch. I know Herschel Gibbs was the coach of one of the
Yeah, the
teams,
Sri
and
Lanka.
then he
Yeah,
flew back to South Africa.
Something.
Um, actually, because his mom had COVID, and then she actually passed away. So very sad news to hear about that. But
And I think recently also Amla, I think his father also recently passed.
yeah, there's been a lot of loss. We can't take away from that. I've been hearing a lot of that. It's quite serious. This COVID. I know that some people think it's maybe not that serious, or they don't see why we are now back in level 3 lockdown, but we are, and we just have to live this way. We have to be careful for the ones that we love, and for us with this new variant. Young people are being admitted to hospital as well. So you may think you have that strong lungs, but you never know how you'll be affected. But what is nice to know is that the cricket will not be affected by level 3 lockdown. There was a statement that said the second test is going ahead. So that is good news also for other sporting events that have been planned to be played within this 14-day period, I think it is, that we are in level 3 lockdown. So excitement because we're still getting some cricket and we're still getting some action, even though we can't be there physically. It's still happening. So we get to see Leisha's team and, of course, our teams in action again very soon, very, very soon. Although it's been tough waiting for the next game because I watched it, it got me excited, and then I wanted some more.
And then it was finished.
And then I took another sip of my tea there. So, what did you guys think about everybody spoke about like our younger bowling lineup, but I think yes, we have a relatively young team right now, and there's a nice mix of experience, and some of the younger guys are also quite experienced as well. But like Luther Supamla, so on day one, he came under a lot of fire. Twitter was alive with criticism. Everybody was criticizing, and then he seemed to come back and he took all those wickets. And even then, some people were like, oh, but those were easy wickets. I don't believe that there are any easy wickets. So, not taking away. And at the end of the series, I feel, didn't he take the most wickets? He did, eh? At the end
He
of
did
not the series, sorry,
six of
the
the
test match.
tournament. Yeah. And he took 4 in one day, so like what's up?
Exactly. So he had a bit of a rocky start, but then he finished on a high, which is good. I mean, that's what you want on your debut. What did you think, Lisha? What did you think? Because obviously you were watching closely and hoping that he would fail a little.
I was not. Luther comes from the Warriors, so I was never hoping it fail.
I was
Um,
joking, everyone.
on on day one, he did bowl a bit inconsistently. That I think we all can agree on that. But I think as like when it comes to the critics and all that, I think they need to allow him some room for error because he's a youngster and he's not always gonna get it right. And then he learned from his mistakes and they should give him that credit at least because he came back in the second innings. He hit the spots, his lines were more consistent and he was taking the wicket. Yes, he went for a boundary now and then, but he learned from his performance in the first inning. So I think big ups to them and the critics need to they need to chill because I feel like South Africa is in this sort of space where they trying to restructure the team and create a solid team, and I think he's going to be part of the setup for a very long time.
Okay. And twins?
Yeah. Well, I think we're really also looking forward to. Well, I mean, there's mixed emotions about Buren coming back to the team. I mean, everybody saw what happened against England, and there's a lot of people that are like, just give him another chance, or some people are just like, no, leave him completely. So I think would I think we also should give him to find his find his line, find length and things like that, so that he can, it also took Pamela also 2 games to get into the swing of things. So if we can kind of give Buren maybe that same kind of, opportunity to prove himself, I think it would be good as well. I don't know. So yeah.
I think
And
everybody's
even the
also
team
looking for a
itself, like
way.
the lineup.
I think everybody's also looking for a way to
Huh?
cement themselves in the squad. I mean, it's scary. Emily, do you think that you'd like to see more of Luther Pamela in the future, in the future games? Do you think that you'd like to see his inclusion in the squad more often?
I definitely would. I definitely do want to see Luto. It's just, I think it's what you were saying. It's this conundrum of places in the team. Because I also really want to see Glenton. I want to see what Glenton can do. Because I know with a new ball, that the ball moves so much with a new ball. So I think I'd love to see him, but I'd also love to see Luto because like he isn't necessarily quick, but he hits those good lines. So yeah, and then you have KG coming back, you have Lunki, you have Anna. So it's difficult. It's going to be difficult to choose, and obviously the conditions depend on who you choose sometimes. So I definitely do want to see Luto, but I also want to see Clinton in the team. So. But then I also want to see like all the others. So it's going to be complicated. It's going to be difficult for the selectors. We'll see what happens in the next test match because Rabada is back in the squad, but we don't know if he's gonna come in for the next test match or not. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I was also impressed with Vian. I was really impressed with Vian Mulder as well. There, that batting at number 7 and bowling. I mean, I think he scored like a 36 or something. So he's contributing with the bat and with the ball. So right now he's looking like a solid all-rounder. I was surprised. I expected Pretorius to come in as the all-rounder, but Vian definitely did a good job in that spot. So we'll see if he retains that spot for the next test match.
Yeah, Vian Mulder's return was a welcome boon on that first day when he also took those 3 wickets. He did, hey? Yeah. He took those 3 wickets and it was really welcomed. It was good to see that. It's good to see them coming in and performing. But even if they're not performing when they come in, you need more than one day or more than one game in order to see what a player is worth. You never know what happens on a particular day. So you're talking about the changes in the batting lineup, and we have a clip where Mark Boucher is talking about perhaps changing the batting lineup. Also, the importance of Faf du Plessis and his innings. It was incredible. Also, heartbreaking that he couldn't reach that 200 milestone, but he did reach a milestone, I think, of hitting over 4,000 test runs. Amazing. But he's really showing that he's in form. We know when he played the IPL, he said, he's only going to retire in 5 years. He did say that. Those were his words in one of the press conferences. So people have been talking about him retiring, but he said himself 5 years. That's what he said. He didn't say after the T20 World Cup. He didn't say that. He said 5 years. So there is a clip about the importance of Faf du Plessis, Mark Boucher talking about that. So we have that clip and we're going to play it because we're quite savvy with technology, or at least the producer is. He's going to do the things, and I think that he's ready to play that clip. I'm not sure. Let me just take a quick look so we can just hear. You can hear me typing the question.
Well, I don't think it's come from me. I think it's come from you guys. The media have been putting pressure on him. I know what Faf is worth as a cricketer. I also understand that what he's done for South African cricket. He's been a great player. He went through maybe by his own accord, a bit of a dip in form. So he would have felt a bit of pressure to go out there and perform. So yes, we've got a new batting sort of order lineup, and with that you need that experience, and I think he showed it this game. He'll understand as well that's it's something to build on. He understands it's a big series up in Pakistan. Then we come back and play against Australia. He's in good form. He's done some very good work, over COVID times on his batting, his technical side of his game. So he looks very comfortable at the moment. For good players, there's big runs around the corner. Even if you do go through a bit of dip, I think him being where he was as a player, he really wanted to score runs. So I'm very happy for him from a personal level. But Faf du Plessis scoring runs in the South African batting lineup, and with that experience is gold dust to us. So it's nice to have him in good form and in good spirits, and hopefully, for us and for him, that continues.
Okay, that was some words from the coach, Mark Boucher. What do you think about that? Anyone, Leisha, twins?
I feel so under pressure every time I name
Okay,
it
sorry.
first.
Okay, fine. You're under pressure. We want you to talk about the brilliance of Faf du Plessis against your team.
No, I'm good. Listen, I think I've said a few times that since he's not captain anymore, since that pressure is off him, he's been in good form, and it's been such a pleasure watching him. Like, his 199 was hard worked for. Like, he took so many blows and he grinded, and it was just really nice to see him bat out and make the runs, score his highest ever test score, and then it was a bit heartbreaking to see him go out on 199. I had a few tears there. I was like, oh, come on. But yeah, it's. I feel like his participation, or rather his inclusion in the playing 11 is vital for the youngsters coming in, because we need that type of positive experience in the team.
And Emily, do you think that that it's the fact that the Test captaincy was taken away from him, or that he's no longer the Test captain? Do you think that that's the reason why he's performing so well?
Look, not necessarily. I just think, he's always been a quality batsman. He's always stood up for us when we needed him, more times than not. And I think I've said this before, I really liked him as captain. But I don't know, I just think he took advantage of the bowling, and it wasn't always easy out there. He stuck it out. The first, I don't know how many overs he faced were difficult out there. The pitch was doing things. Like Leisha said, he took some on the body, on the gloves, but he worked really hard for that. And you can't necessarily say it's because he isn't captain now. But maybe there is less pressure on him, and because of that, he feels like he can express himself more, perhaps, or he feels like he doesn't have to think about too many things. He just has to focus on getting runs. So it could be, it could not be, I'm not sure. But he definitely worked hard out there and showed his value in the side, and why he's so important in that top six. So I'm happy for him. Like Leisha said, heartbroken that he got out on 199. I was literally like my dad. I was with my dad at the time, and he turned around and he said, "Don't tell me like Faf goes out now on the next ball. Next ball, Faf goes out." So I'm like, "Whoa, he jinxed him." But yeah, definitely very happy for him. And hopefully he can score more runs next match.
Yeah, that was a proper jinx there, Emily, of your father, eh?
Yes. Everyone was jinxing.
There was a problem with jinxing
There
the
was a
whole
whole
game.
bunch of jinxing happening. Even Liverpool and Newcastle jinxed 0
No,
goals.
we don't talk about that. But I mean specifically with the court. So we were all commenting on the fact that he just looked super comfortable in at number 5, I think. And he just looked like, he was just ready to just play his role and just do awesome things. And then it's like we just spoke too soon, and then he was out.
Like on 18, I think.
Yeah, so sometimes you just shouldn't speak too soon. Otherwise, then just bad things start happening. So someone probably said something about Faf, and that's why he never got his 200. So yeah.
Somebody made the wrong comment.
It's
at the
thing.
wrong time. Is that what you're saying? And that is why he didn't. I think we need to inform him about this. It wasn't you. It was some random person who made a
It
comment
was a
at
jinx
the
in the
wrong
universe.
time.
Yeah.
I just
It's
think that,
probably
lockdown. Sorry, I just think that lockdown was very good for Faf. He went back and he did something, because before lockdown, he was getting a lot of criticism and a lot of flack, for the way that he was playing the captaincy. There was just a lot happening and he wasn't performing the way we know he can perform. Then lockdown happened. He clearly did something. I don't know, when he wasn't helping out with the Sia Khaleesi Foundation and when he wasn't doing charitable works, he was doing something else. And then he was in the IPL and he was performing fantastically. So I don't know what he did. I feel like we need to find out exactly what he did. So maybe we can get others to do the same thing. But he came back and he looked absolutely brilliant. And everything that people were saying before the lockdown, it seems that they forgot that completely. And they were like, thank goodness that Faf is on the team, that he's still playing, and he's so important. Twins, don't you think that experience that he brings is so important, especially when we have a young, in terms of also, when I say young, I don't just mean in age, but I mean in experience.
Well, yeah, obviously, having Faf there was kind of like he was like the voice of reason, because I don't know, maybe when Maharaj came in and it was his turn to show us what he got, the bat. I think maybe Faf has a kind of maybe way that he I don't know, his demeanor maybe, and just positivity, and I don't know, if you feel kind of like confidence that Faf is there, he's helping me, or maybe him scoring that amazing score of how much again?
Who?
Maharaj.
Maharaj was 74,
Yeah.
I think.
That's
74.
And
73.
yeah, without my Durban shirt,
Without
just
the Durban
saying.
shirt.
And I think also the team in general, I think maybe the cook had a little less stress on him maybe as well. But then
He
yeah,
just took he just took too many risks, I think. But you could kind of see in the way he was playing, he was definitely more relaxed, I think. Maybe not that heaviness of captaining and everything. I don't know. I guess it just showed in his playing, I suppose.
Yeah.
But
Twins,
back to
you
the
guys were
jinxing.
Yes.
you guys were very excited about Quinton being captain.
Were we?
Yes, you were. You were the one who were like, yes.
We just kind of just mentioned.
Were we?
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
Like the first show,
We
you
were
were like,
just kind
yes.
of like, just putting it
Quinton
out
de
there. We're not
Kock.
really thinking much about it. And then there it was.
Oh yes,
Yes, we prophesied it.
when we prophesied him, and then
I mean, maybe he's just building up his experience. He might not be the best captain in the first time that he has to captain, for example. Like just speaking hypothetically or
prophetically.
But yeah, so yeah.
I think I actually read an article or may have heard him say that being the test captain, he found it to be easier.
Oh,
So
okay.
he finds captaining more easier than actually
captaining the test
Okay.
squad. I don't know.
Then.
I don't know if you think it seemed that way. I'm sorry for the background noise. I'm not in a studio today, so if you hear some faint music in the background or cars or noises, I'm just going to apologize in advance for those disruptions.
I think if I can just make like a comment about having Faf being the ex-captain and having Quinton the captain. I think the twins said this, but like Faf, like he brings that experience and he obviously is there for Quinton to like give him tips and things like that. But that experience and that calmness that he brings will definitely be helpful to Quinton in his captaining, even if it's a short career that he has for captaining. Faf's experience definitely helps with that. So, yeah, I think Faf is definitely important in the side in terms of batting, definitely, but also that experience that he has being captain previously. So, yeah.
100%. And then also Aiden Markram included and also performing. And we know that previously it seemed as though he was being groomed to be captain at some point. Do you think that now he is a viable option? Also, if you are a viable option, you need to be in the squad all the time. So your place in the squad is basically there. So it can't be somebody who's not always included in the squad. What do you think about that, Emily? Aiden Markram.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'll get to Aiden now, but that's actually why, the Kesh debate was interesting, because he might not always be in the side, if the conditions aren't spinning friendly, although he played in Centurion, because, spinner has a very important job of like holding another end, but having said that, Kesh might not always be in the side, so that's also another thing to consider about him being captain. But in terms of Aiden, I definitely think Aiden's like a good future option for captain. He obviously, he's been scoring, I think he came off 400s in the domestic 4-day recently. So he's been scoring lots and lots of runs. If he can just score consistently for the Proteas and the test team, then I definitely think he's an option. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely seems like he went back and then did a lot of work on the domestic scene. I don't know if the twins can hear us, because it would be nice if they could weigh in, but currently I'm not sure if they're here or not here. Okay, I don't think they can hear us. So also Temo Bavuma as part of the batting lineup, I love that he's being included in all facets. I love to see that. I'm sad that he walked off. That was also a heartbreak moment, and I think for him as well. But he so confidently thought that he was out, and then he walked off. I know a lot of people were like, go back, but everyone here, save for myself, has done at least a level 1 umpiring certificate, and I'm sure that that's covered in the rules, right, Leisha?
Yes, unfortunately for Timba, that is in the laws. He had 15 seconds to review it. And also, before the 15 seconds even started, he should have looked at the umpire, because the umpire doesn't give him out. So I think that was very unfortunate for him. And yeah, the law says, after the 15 seconds and after you across the boundary line, then can't turn back unless it's a no ball, which it wasn't, and unless he was given out. So it was very
So if he had
unfortunate.
stopped, are you saying that if he had walked faster than 15 seconds and if he had stopped just before that boundary line, things could have been so much different?
It could have, if the replay also wasn't played on the screen. It could have been so much different.
Because that was quite sad. Also, missing out on an opportunity.
Yeah, I think Leisha, I don't even think he wouldn't have even been able to review it because he wasn't given out, like you
He
said.
wasn't given out. Yeah.
So literally, like the umpire, like Leisha says, the umpire can't also stop you from walking, because if you think you nicked it, you walk off. But like Leisha said, the umpire didn't give him out. So if he had maybe just paused, say he was walking off the field, if he had paused, turned around and realized, oh, I didn't hit it, he would still be in. But like Leisha said, once you cross that boundary rope, you can't come back. So definitely heartbreaking. Whenever someone mentions Temba's name now, I just think of that replay where there's like a massive gap between bat and ball. But he said he heard a sound, and obviously if you hear a sound and you think you nicked it, at least he has that sort of integrity to walk off. But yeah, I was definitely very sad for him, because I believe that he was close to getting 100, even a good score. So yeah, he was set. He looked set. Him and Faf in that partnership. So yeah, but these things happen, and I definitely think like he'll be stronger for it. And I'm glad he scored some runs, and hopefully he can back that up again in the next match.
Yeah, it was a nice chunk of runs. Yeah, we have a comment. You cannot review a decision that was not given by the umpire. Yes, Emily, you did say that now. The umpire was supposed to call him back. Umpire can call a batsman back if he feels he was not out. But here's where it gets technical. Does that apply if he's already crossed the boundary line? So if he's walking and the umpire calls him back, that's fine. But what if he's already crossed the boundary line? Can he still be called back? Obviously, the 15 seconds to review doesn't apply here because he wasn't given out. He walked. So, Emily or Lisha, can he be called back after crossing that boundary line?
No, you can't. Once he's across the boundary line, he cannot be called back. It's in the law, and unless it's, like I said, unless it's a no ball. And just to touch on Nuabalo's comment, yes, the umpire can call you back, but Timber walked confidently. He was convinced that he was out, and I think that was Mary Erasmus's thing, was that he confidently walked off. So that was Timbers giving himself out. It was actually Timbers' fault.
Yeah, you're so right, because when he walked, it's like nobody questioned in that moment, because he didn't even pause for a second. He dropped his face, he took his bat, and he walked immediately. Okay, so we're not going to wait for the twins, or initially I was going to wait for the twins, but oh, maybe they are coming back. Oh, twins, excellent. You're here for the next installment, which is the next clip by Mark Boucher, talking about the batting lineup and changes, or maybe he's changing it, maybe he's not. I have not listened to this clip yet, so we'll all be listening to it for the very first time. So we can play it now.
We just got 600. Why would I want to change our batting order? This is Test match cricket. You don't just grab an opportunity. The guys that have gone out there and performed deserve their spot again. So in Test match cricket, you wait for your opportunity to come. There are got a couple of very good batters waiting in our wings, and we'll keep working on them. So if they do get opportunity, that they grab that opportunity. But for now, I think everyone would agree that it's going to be very difficult for me to go swapping and changing a batting order that's, we've been through a couple of tough times of late. So we'll take the 600 and we'll try to work on that going forward. It's a big.
Some good comments. Well, what did you think about that, twins, since you left and came back? But I'm sure you heard this whole clip. Okay. I don't think that, I'm not sure that, okay, Emily, you take it away.
I mean, yeah, I thought that Quinton would come in. I thought Temba and Quinton, would swap. I think I'd like to see Quinny in that number 6 position and see Temba in 5th. There was a lot of debate of, I remember they showed a graphic on the screen of how many batting positions Temba has batted at, and sort of the runs that he's scored in every position. And he's been more successful in the bottom positions. I think it's 5, 6, 7 or something like that for South Africa than he has in the earlier. But I don't know. I think I'd like to see maybe those two switch and see what changes that would make. Because I know Quinny plays his game. He's a powerful hitter. He's just all about confidence and going out there and playing his game, no matter really what the situation is. So yeah, I don't know. I don't have a problem specifically with the beginning of the batting lineup. I think that's all fine. But yeah, maybe perhaps switch it up. But like Mark Boucher said, why change something that worked? But then again, Quinton didn't get as many runs as I wanted him to, or as Mark Boucher probably wanted him to. So I don't know, maybe just change. You don't have to change a massive amount. Maybe just one or two changes. But yeah, I think the rest of it was good. Yeah.
So it seems like we are looking at pretty much the same lineup, if I'm going according to what Boucher said in the presser there. Lisha, does this excite you? I know you support Sri Lanka, but just looking at it through your eyes and your experience also as a cricketer, because you do have experience playing, and tell us what you think about that, not changing the lineup.
I think yeah, they shouldn't change it because like 600 is a lot, and for batsmen to come together and do what they're supposed to, like why change something that's working? Especially going forward into the Pakistan series, it's batsman is not going to be as settled if they keep being shifted around, so they won't be as consistent if there's continuous changes. I feel like we should really try to solidify a team going forward so that we can sort of perform more consistently, score more than 500 on a more consistent basis. So, as much as it's gonna hurt Sri Lanka, I feel like keeping the lineup as it is, it's gonna be good for us, for y'all.
I'm sure that you. I'm sure
You said us.
that.
You said us. You said us.
Oh man. Well, I'm sure that in the next match, your other team will reassess how they are playing, because maybe they came out and looked like they were playing T20 because they saw the mammoth total that they needed to get to. And so they wanted to get it done as quickly as possible, so that they didn't lose by 45 runs and an innings. Brilliant, that first test. But you know what? We are going to wrap things up here this evening. It's been fantastic, a very relaxed evening, a very relaxed show. It is New Year's Eve. It's been such a 2020. 2021, we're hoping for great cricket and great things from all of you. And of course, the ladies on the panel, they have lots of things up their sleeve. And you'll be seeing us in the new year with exciting content, of course, also on Cricket Fanatics. Happy New Year. Stay safe, stay indoors, wear that mask, watch the cricket. The next match starts on Sunday, so you have a few days to wait. So maybe you can do some other things in the meantime, but enjoy the jollification with your family. Please be safe. Emily, Lisha, the twins, if they can still hear us. Thank you very much for joining, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening. I hope that your New Year's Eve is fantastic. Also, to everyone who has joined us this evening, please have a fantastic New Year's.